It's been 1 year since 10 black Americans were murdered in a racially motivated attack at a Tops grocery store in Buffalo, New York. In tonight's Prime Focus, we've partnered with our colleagues at ABC News Digital for their project Buffalo, Healing from Hate, Saving Ourselves, to explore just how this community is coping 1 year later and what's being done to address the racial inequities that have plagued this community for generations.
My family made a conscious decision when this happened that we would not allow our mother to be remembered as a victim, and we're not going to live the lives of victims.
He took the best of us. These were people who valued family. These were people of faith. These were community members who contributed in so many ways.
Since 5/14, more than $3 billion in projects have been planned or proposed from Buffalo's east side. Unfortunately, the projects will have little, if no real impact on Black Buffalo.
We keep looking for somebody. Nobody's coming in to save us. That power is not something that's outside of us.
On an otherwise typical Saturday in East Buffalo, New York, while families took part in the mundane activity of buying groceries, a shooter entered a Tops friendly market and opened fire. Ten people were killed and 3 others seriously injured in a violent act of hatred, all of the victims Black.
This is an absolute racist hate crime. This is someone who has hate in their heart, soul, and mind.
Behind each name, there is a story and a grieving set of family and friends.
86 years old? What? Why? What was the purpose?
At 86, Ruth Whitfield was the oldest of the victims. A devoted wife, her children say she visited her husband of 68 years who suffers from dementia in a nursing home every day for 8 years. Garnell tells us he believes his father's illness is what keeps him from enduring the excruciating pain that his family deals with every day.
I called the nursing home. They sent me the footage of persons entering the building that day. My mom was in that footage. I saw what she had on. I was able to describe her outfit to the police officer, to the detective, who went in and identified my mom.
When Ruth moved to upstate New York decades ago, her children say it was with the hope of escaping the brutal racism of the South, only to then lose her life here in a racially motivated attack. The Tops was a symbol of a hard-won fight for this community. Built in 2003, it provided a much-needed option in what was previously a food desert, brought on by systemic racism reinforced by decades of segregation. A report by the Brookings Institution and the University of Michigan found that the Buffalo-Niagara Falls metro area is the 6th most segregated area in the nation. The dividing lines between white and black splintered by the Kensington Expressway, a massive project built in the 60s touted as urban renewal, placed right in the middle of East Buffalo, the black section of the area. Critics say its lanes allow white residents easy access to the city's downtown area, but that it strips black residents of access to essential businesses like grocery stores, only further exacerbating racial inequity.
Buffalo is one of the most segregated urban centers in the United States. This white supremacist knew that only one supermarket serviced the east side, 68,000 black residents. Tops sits in an urban landscape that reflects the ugly realities of Buffalo's brand of structural racism.
You gonna come to our city and decide you don't like black people. Man, you don't know a damn thing about black people. We're human. We like our kids to go to good schools. We love our kids. We never go in those neighborhoods and take people out. Don't do it.
I wanted to kill his ass.
I know.
Sorry to say it like that.
I did too.
We got to do something to this man for all the pain. I mean, not only just with I mean, like, I lost my friends too. Roberto was one of my best friends. Marcus was one of my best friends. I mean, these are people I see every day.
Damone Massey lost his aunt Catherine Massey, as well as his friends Roberta Drury and Margus Morrison.
Each particular family that's all been through this tragedy, there's no form of healing possible. There's no form of healing possible.
While it's said that time heals all wounds, many of the residents are demanding another remedy.
People are making promises. We're gonna give the East Side $50 million, or $100 million. But a lot of people I talk to say, we want to see it. We want to see something happen. We want to see those promises fulfilled.
Good morning. Here today because my 86-year-old mother was murdered, along with 9 other souls while shopping in our community on May 14th. On the surface, it would appear that I made it. You know, I'm blessed with a functional family, gainful employment, an opportunity to grab a piece of that much sought-after American dream. The problem is, reality keeps waking you up. This didn't just start on May 14th. We've been living with this our entire lives.
ABC News reached out to local and state officials regarding the funding promised to East Buffalo. A spokesperson for Governor Hochul told us that the governor will continue to work closely with partners to ensure the community and its residents receive the investments they deserve to build a fairer, more equitable future in Buffalo. Congressman Brian Higgins said, "We are making long-term investments that will create jobs, support businesses, revitalize homes, and reconnect neighborhoods. We have delivered more than $1.1 billion in state and federal funding." But local leaders say those resources aren't going to the people who need them most.
Right now, based on our analysis, we've got maybe $1 to $2.2 billion of projects aimed for the East Side that are either planned or being implemented. Yet, we suspect that 90 to 95% of those dollars will flow through the East Side like water through a sieve, en route to white communities.
Instead of waiting, some community members are taking matters into their own hands.
We're here at 238 Carlton, the future site of the African Heritage Food Cooperative grocery store. It's going to be 3 floors, a community space, cafe, and offices. We're very, very happy to be able to provide healthy options for folks within walking distance in a site that's been victimized by food apartheid.
A new grocery co-op is now being built in the historic Fruit Belt neighborhood, perhaps a symbol of healing and a concrete example of this community trying to come together.
The best way to remember those who were killed is to carry on their legacy, to remember how important they were to this community, to carry on their sense of family. That's the best way to remember them, to be the best that we can be as a community in Buffalo, New York.
I understand that tragedy also presents opportunity. My mother didn't live her life as a victim, even though she lived her whole life being victimized. And I never saw her as a victim, and I'm not going to remember her as a victim, and I'm not going to play the role of a victim either. And so that requires us to speak out, that requires us to work.
He refuses to be victimized. And you can see much more of the ABC News digital original report, Buffalo, Healing from Hate, Saving Ourselves, at abcnews.com/US/Buffalo.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.